boy, Romy Quintana sure can come up with a lot of corn on his program.
And you know, that song should fit you, Joe, because you're a lover of boxer. It was really written for the story of Muhammad Ali. No?
That's absolutely right. Back in 1977,
The greatest of them all,
the
really.
greatest of them all, absolutely. Bar none. We're 12 seconds in the third quarter, 51-44. Arnie Tuadles tries to make it. Yes, succeeds famously in making it a 9-point lead.
And he has also 9 points in the ball game right now, Arnie Tuadles. So a lot of guys helping out in the Great Taste team. In the Shell team, it's limited to Manny Victorino, Shaus, and Willie Pearson.
Unproductive thrust by Shell. Rebound to Philip Cesar. Here is another two-handed dunk by Darrell Kennedy.
Safety guards of the Shell team not coming down quick enough after the interception. It was a getaway for the Great Taste Milk Masters, and they have an 11-point lead right now.
You know what I'd give to be able to measure the barrel chest there of Darrell Kennedy. It must be about 44 or 45. Okay, jump shot unmolested by Willie Pearson.
Willie, the only other player in this team of Dexter Shaus and Manny Victorino giving some help. The locals have not really been that productive on their part. Atoyko coming up with a poor dribble and losing it to the end line.
So the score is unchanged at 55-46. Both clubs still clean as far as team fouls go. We're a minute and 8 seconds into the third period. Vivo Rabat is orchestrating the offensive, acting the role of point guard for the Azaccord Super Buckbusters at this point. At low post, we have Dexter Shaus operating off Philip Cesar, who has been the bane of his existence right from the start of this ball game, especially the elongated limbs of Philip, making it very difficult for him to move. Willie Pearson against Abby King. He takes it anyway. Yes.
Willie with 4 straight points cuts down the lead to 7 again. We have a minute and a half gone by here in the second quarter. Full court press being employed by the Shell team. There's a layup try by
Abby King.
no
He
fouls
misses like twice.
recorded.
Yes, a lot of bruising action going on. And here's Darrell Kennedy. Okay, the guy is fast, learning the ropes of Philippine basketball.
He worked very well underneath the basket, was able to come up with an offensive rebound and the follow-up shot. Pearson being fouled there by Kennedy.
57-48 is the count. 9-point lead for Great Taste. Going back to when we get the last program, here's another gem that I heard. What do you call the fans of Padim Israel? Israelites. Not so good, huh? Okay. Here's a fall away by Dexter Shaus. Not so good either.
Only 11 points for Dexter. 13, I'm sorry, 13.
All right, Atoyko jumps. One step back. One wee step back would have been a three-pointer.
His first 2 points of the ball game tonight, it came in the second half of play, back to an 11-point lead for Great Taste, who have been controlling the ball game. The biggest lead for Shell in this ball game has only been 2 points.
Absolutely right. And that happened only once. At 10-8, way back in the first quarter.
It's an illegal defense called against the Milk Masters. Referee Caponitan calling the play. The last time these two teams met, partner, Shell won over Great Taste 103-97.
103-97, so that was a very close ball game, and this promises to be the same. 59-48 right now, though. It's an 11-point lead for Great Taste. Here's Dexter Shaus against a spread eagle, Philip Cesar. He gets a second crack, and on the third try, he gets fouled. And Abby King is complaining. Bola-bola yung nakuha ko.
Bolang-bola yata yung ulo ni Shaus.
Yung ulo ni Shaus ang napagkamalan ng bola, sabi ng referee. Okay, watch that again.
He caught him in the arm there. So Dexter will take 2 from the 15-foot line. If you notice, partner, Dexter has great leaping ability, even without the benefit of coming in with a couple of steps, you know, from a vertical leap. He can really go up into the air. That was what allowed him to go up for the continued follow-up shots in that last play.
That's right. Okay, right now, the full court press being applied by Jolie Pa. That is the patented hallmark of Jolie Pa's coaching. Here is Darrell Kennedy, finds nobody to pass to, decides to go to the hoop. He gets it right back. He'll try again, and
Still no success.
Wow. Well, he keeps trying.
You can't blame him for not trying.
Nope. If at first you don't succeed in all that.
Offensive rebounding now working for Shell, even though the miss of Shaus came. Robanes was there for the offensive rebound. They go to the down play, and there's going to be another foul on Kennedy.
Now, that's a useless foul, and Kennedy will have to watch out for that kind of a foul. That's his second personal. 59-50, 9-point lead for Great Taste. Shell threatening to make that a lot more uncomfortable now for the Great Taste Instant Milkmen.
Victorino also finished the first half, Joe, with 13 points. He's looking for his first 2 points here in the second half. Misses the first free throw, however.
Manny Victorino has not had a very, very productive conference in terms of actual points. He's been averaging so far only.
10 points a ball game, partner.
That's right.
Although his biggest production was last time out, he had 21, I think. And what did happen, however, was when he scored well, they lost the ball game.
Okay, Philip Cesar got himself an opportunity for a grand slam on the foul by Willie Pearson. 61-51, double-digit advantage now for the Great Days Instant Millmen, trying to get their act together after sustaining 4 losses against only 1 victory.
They have 5 ball games left in the elimination round. 11 points for Philip Cesar, and that's also the lead of Great Days.
You know, Great Days is not just looking for a slot in the semifinals. They also want to come up with a creditable record because of the carryover system.
I think all the clubs want to do that, especially Shell. They can get a good-sized lead for them going to the semifinals. Only win a couple of games. And remember, Joe, when we started the coverage about, I was on the second coverage, I told you perhaps my own feeling is that 12 or 13 games would do it for one of the teams to make the finals.
I think you're absolutely right and positive. The results of this conference will bear you out. 64-53. 11-point lead now for the Instant Milk Masters. 7:58 to go in the third period. Unproductive thrust by Shell. Arnie Twadlis. Diagonal pass to Philip. Great catch by Philip, but an equally great block by Dexter Schaus. It's only half successful because it stays in the backyard of Great Taste, though.
Philip was so happy with that play, even though it went against him, that he went over and gave Dexter a low 5.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Almost a platoon substitution. 4 guys coming in for the Shell team. Only Pearson remains.
Yes, Jolie Pie is telling Baby Dalupan 2 can play at that game, you know.
He's not very happy with the way his team is playing. They're playing into the game of Great Taste, and they're not really making any headway. As a matter of fact, they've lost some ground here.
That's true. It was only a 7-point halftime deficit. Now it stands at 11. 64-53 are the exact figures posted on the scoreboard. 3 team fault for Great Taste against only 1 for Shell. Abi King at the right flank, being taunted there, challenged practically by Paul Herrera to try and defy his defense, and he does. Well, he misses though. And look at Toto Marquez.
Pearson is down on the floor. He must be hurting. Must have gotten an elbow somewhere.
While he's still on the floor, 3-point shot, Totoy. Boy, we are not seeing very many 3-point shots tonight.
No, you're right, Joe. Not too much success from the 3-point territory for both squads. In the first half, Great Taste did 1 out of 6 for 17%. Shell 0 out of 3 for no percent.
And right now, we have an injury timeout. Let's see what happened to Willie Pearson. That's Dr. Ben Salute taking a look. Willie Pearson, I wonder what really happened to him. There was a mid-air collision between him and Abi King. And let's watch that piece of action again that sent him to the floor. Okay, here's Abi King.
Watch Abi King come back now. And there's...
well,
I think he just lost his footing, partner.
That's right. Abi King even got the raw end of the deal, it seems. He got a finger in the eye.
I think what happened to Willie is he didn't fall down properly, and so he must have twisted his ankle a little bit, so he might have a sprain. I could sideline him for a little while.
Well, let's hope it's nothing serious, because Jolie Paz certainly needs his services. You know, Willie Pearson is an entirely different person in this conference.
Yes, definitely, given the playing time, the confidence by the coach, he has improved a lot. Great Taste looking very good in this ball game.
Abi King has it. He goes to Philip. Philip with a frontal assault to the basket. Wow, what a shot by Philip.
Daredevil act by Philip. 13-point lead with 7 minutes left here in the third quarter, and there's going to be a foul called against Philip Cesar for reaching in.
66-53. It always happens after a heroic move. He comes back with a goat move. Okay, Cuenco inbounding from the left sideline. Time down to 7 minutes and 5 seconds. We're still in the third period, the second semester of this ball game. Ang against Arnie Twadlis. Romy puts it over the head of Arnie. Bullseye.
Well, this second stringer's got to deliver for Shell if they want to come back in the ball game. Jolie Paz giving them a lot of playing time. He's not satisfied with the way the first team is playing. So if this second team cannot deliver, Great Taste will have a walk away here.
That's right. A 3-point shot by Arnie Twadlis. Won't go.
There's going to be a foul on Kennedy for holding on.
Another useless foul given up there by Darrell Kennedy. That's his third personal, and he comes up with another grin from ear to ear, and that's the kind of a smile you can't possibly miss even in the dark. 5 team fouls for Great Taste against only 1 for Shell.
He looks to be a little bit overweight, though, partner.
Yes, he has a barrel chest. He seems a little too soft. Well, of course, he has the basic musculature of a mesomorph. Well, we'll explain what a mesomorph is later on, but right now, Romy Ang just missed.
You have to explain that to me too.
Okay, here comes Arnie Quadlis. All
Another
right,
fast break situation for Great Taste, 3-on-1.
68-55. Bakers doesn't lead for Great Taste. There are basically three body types, Dr. J. The thin type, which is known as the ectomorph, the muscular type, which is known as the mesomorph, and the fat type, which is the endomorph. Well, I'm calling this guy a mesomorph because he is basically a muscular person, although he has a little bit more flat than he normally has. Paul bungling both opportunities from the stripe, so the score is unchanged at 68-55. Still a whopping 13-point mark for Great Taste. Arnie Tuadles has it in the three-point region against Romy Ang inside to Daryl Kennedy. Daryl has Cuenco to cope with. Oh, he misses from 8. Cuenco boxing out of a rebound too.
That's right. Definitely still a filling-in period for him. A good drive-in play there by Solis. It falls out. So he'll take 2 from the 15-foot line.
And Philip Cesar embraces Tote Marquez after accidentally knocking him on the head.
Now, this is something that Shell can use to work back into this, to get themselves back into this ball game. That was the 7th foul of Great Taste. They only have 1 team foul, and they could really go on for penetration plays right now. No?
That's right. They need those penetration plays, especially this, in the light of the fact that their outside artillery is not really working that well for them. Al Solis hasn't come up with a triple yet.
That's right, partner. In the first half, they only shot 26% from the outside area, while they shot better from the inside lane. Now, both of the teams really having a miserable night from the outside. Their points have been coming in from the inside game.
All right, 68-57, 11-point lead for Great Taste. We're a shade under the halfway point. Hold it, says the ref. He spotted an illegal defense violation by, let's see who the culprit is. Herrera. So it's only a warning because it's the first violation.
It's even Steven for both of the teams. They both have a warning now given to them on this illegal defense play. No?
And real big crowd is really swelling here at the Ultra in anticipation of another great encounter between the arch rivals, Ginebra San Miguel and San Miguel Beer. Oh!
A 3-point shot by Arnie Tuadles ended up as an air ball.
I wonder what he had for lunch. That was a very anemic attempt. 68-57, 11-point lead for Great Taste. Great Taste is already in penalty, while Shell has limited its team fouls down to just 1.
Well, it's the other way around compared to the first 2 quarters. Good call by the referee. Arnie tiptoeing there, could not dribble the ball, and came up with a traveling violation.
That's right. He was tiptoeing through the tulips, and Romy Ang inbounds from the left sideline. Al Sol is confronted by Atoico.
Great penetration again by Solis, but he couldn't get it up. And so that'll mean 2 free throws. Now, Ato was motioning that it was not in the act of shooting, but despite that, because they are in penalty, it'll still be 2 free throws for Al Solis.
That's right. I guess Ato lost sight of the fact that they were already in penalty, and so Solis has 2 opportunities coming to him. Atoico is being relieved by Alan Caideg, who is checking right now into the ballgame, along with Aaron Torres, who is replacing Arnie Tuadles.
Aaron played very well in the second quarter when he was given the opportunity to play point guard for the team. So
that's right.
He has been a good sub for Coach Baby Dalupan.
Bernie Fabiosa has not seen very much action in this second half, although he came up with some heroic moves in the first half.
He was, as a matter of fact, the top scorer at the end of the halftime with 10 points for Great Taste. He had 10 points, no? And he was the top scorer for Great Taste.
All right, overhead pass by Abi King to Philip at low post. Herrera is not giving him any shooting room. Abi King is fouled by Al Solis.
That's a difficult play to stop. When you double team Philip, who has his back towards the basket, and you have Abi King cutting in from the weak side, and you give him a pass in the 3-second area, his power usually will help him along.
And Abi King has trimmed down a lot of the flab that seems to have bothered him at the start of this season.
He looks to be about 195 pounds, 6'3", no?
All muscle.
And he is what kind of a player? And
a mesomorph. Yes. Okay.
This is 2 free throws.
The rebound by the ectomorph. That's Toto Marquez. And here comes Al Solis. Romy Ang works it right back to Al.
Better movement on the part of the Shell team, though. You can see even though they're really trying harder now.
Yes. A lot more adrenaline flowing in their veins as Paul Herrera comes up with a great follow-up to make it 68-61. The Super Buckbusters once again threatening with 4:16 in the balance for the third period.
That's been the story so far in this ball game. They've always been threatening, but have never really caught up after leading 10-8, and that was yesterday.
Well, I suppose this performance, reinvigorated performance of Shell as a court, can be attributed to the strains of La Bamba being played in the background here.
You were reading my mind because I was going to say that to Shell, one of the teams that has a bugle band, and we have a timeout called by Great Taste.
Right. Les Move continues to hang thick over the playing arena, and a foul on Joey Carpio sends Ray Cuenco to the line. Daryl Kennedy has really not contributed very much to his team's cause, but Great Taste is playing a beautiful brand of basketball, giving them a 7-point lead right now. Incidentally, Dr. J, when is the cut-off date for replacing imports, if any of these teams have that in mind?
Well, checking it, we found out that it's October 28th, and that's midway through the elimination round. We have the full court press being employed by the Shell team. Fabiosa back into the ball game. And we also have Joy Carpio coming in for Abe King. So a smaller lineup, but a quicker one for Great Taste.
Alan Kaidig.
Good
he
defense
was
there by
trapped.
the white
Yes.
shirts.
He was really trapped.
And the Shell team has been taking advantage of the penalty situation. They've gone to the line for quite a couple of times right now. That was a very important play for the Shell team. Joy Carpio, however, caught stepping on the end line, Joe.
That's right. Well, Al Solis, very much like Alan Kaidig, seems to have left his rifle at home. We haven't seen many great outside shots, not very many spectacular booming shots.
Coming from Al Solis, that's true.
Right.
Although he's been getting it from the 15-foot line in this quarter.
All right, Romy Ang taking over the band leader's chores for Shell Azaccord. Ray Cuenco against Joy Carpio goes right outside to Romy Ang. He takes the shot from 20 and misses. Poor shot selection there by Romy Ang. No chance for an offensive rebound.
That's right.
68-62. Here's Philip Cesar. He goes to Allen. Allen escapes Totoy.
That's a good play there for Alan Kaidik. He didn't force an outside shot. Came in with a glide off the floor and then a shot off the glass to give an 8-point lead for Great Taste right now.
70-62 are the exact figures. 2.5 to go before the third quarter is over.
That should be a good isolation play for Solis. He's taller than Torres, and
That's
he can
right.
really take him, partner.
He certainly knew it. All right. Aaron Torres taking over the playmaker's chores for the black shirts. Well, it's black if you're watching this in black and white, but it's actually midnight blue if you're watching this in blazing color. And Dr. Ting Cruz not only calls a foul on Philip, but also a technical.
No, he calls a foul on Totoy Marquez and gives him a technical because Totoy is complaining. Look at this play, Joe. Philip was giving a screen, which Marquez felt was an illegal one. So he pushes Philip out of the way. He was called for the foul, but he complains.
I thought it was Philip being slapped with a technical there by Dr. Ting Cruz because he was looking at Philip as Philip was trying to pick himself up from the floor. Actually, Philip was the victim of that foul.
That's right, the pushing foul by Totoy Marquez. Philip will take the technical free throw. He has 13 in the ball game right now and very long on the free throw shot.
Philip was not very happy with himself after missing the technical foul shot. Alan Kaidik will inbound for Great Taste. He gets it right back from Philip. A give and go didn't work, so he goes to Joey, and Joey misses likewise.
By the way, Austria came into the ball game for Totoy Marquez. Also a very speedy lineup for the Shell team. Austria delivers instantly off the bench, and he has cut down the lead to 4.
70-66. We're in the last 2 minutes of the third quarter. Aaron Torres, a very unlikely performer for Great Taste, but he's been living up to the role. At low post, Joey Carpio will try to work one inside to Torres. The little guy with a gutsy play, but he was outnumbered there.
Last touch was called against Shell. Yes, you're right, Joe, because if you notice, both of the teams using two small men right now. Torres Fabiosa versus Austria and what do you call this, Solis. And Philip Cesar is now being replaced by Abe King.
So Joey will inbound from the baseline for the Great Taste instant milkman. Okay, Abe King works it to the right flank. Fabiosa gets it right back to Abe. Abe with a suicidal drive, a door slammed to his face. Carpio, he goes inside and misses badly. Score unchanged, just a 4-point lead now for Great Taste, and the momentum definitely is on the side of the Super Buckbusters. Perfectly open is Austria, bullseye.
Back-to-back baskets by Austria, and you can see it coming, Joe. You can see the kind of game that Shell is playing now is a quicker one. The hustle defense is proving to be a big headache for the Great Taste Milkmasters.
That's right, and here's Abe King. Blocked But the referee, they saw it otherwise. Cuenco was called for the foul, although Cuenco claimed that he got all ball, but okay, he realizes the futility of further protestations. It's going to be a take-two opportunity here for Abe King.
We see Manny Victorino reporting to the scorer's bench. Abe only 5 points in the ball game. Make that 6 right now. Cuenco is being replaced.
Manny Victorino, wearing number 1 on his jersey, is reporting back for duty. Okay, that makes him the tallest man on the floor right now, as Abe King gives Great Taste a temporary breathing spell. Now it's a 4-point lead. 72-68. A minute and 4 to go. We're still in the third period. Great Taste already in penalty. Shell holding its fouls down to just 4. Romy Ang is harassed by Alan Caidic. Paul Herrera against Carpio. Motion offense being displayed here by the Super Bugbusters. Shell, the Super Bugbusters try to get a squeeze play inside with a foul going against Joey Carpio. His second personal. Paul Herrera will take 2 from the stripe.
Penalty situation in effect. Only 14 fouls for Shell with 45 seconds. They've made a lot of comeback here. Lead has been cut down to 4. Earlier, Paul Herrera missed 2 out of 2. Now he makes it.
Incidentally, the Tapal artist, Philip Cesar, is being kept on hold by Baby Dalupan. The reason I brought up his name is because I just saw it on top of the roster in the MVP Derby. Philip Cesar continues to lead the MVP race, followed by Abit Gidabin and Ricardo Brown.
Only a slim margin over Abet Gidabin, though, which he could lose.
That's right. Look at this. Helter Skelter, and Great Taste wins out.
33 seconds left in the game clock for the third quarter. 25-second shot clock for the Great Taste Milk Masters.
Atoico promptly checks in for Aaron Torres. So the backcourt tandem now for Great Taste will be Bernie Fabiosa and Atoico. Joey Carpio gets it over to Atoy. Atoy, one of the 8 surviving grizzled veterans of the PBA League. Here's Abe King with a reverse. Won't go. Romy Ang with a very authoritative rebound. They're down by just 2 points. They can level the count if they can hit Painter in this offensive thrust. They have to work it out, yes.
Trying to go for the last shot. Good tap out by Alan Caidic.
So the clock is frozen at 12 seconds. Plenty of time for Shell to come up with the equalizer.
Or even the lead, partner. On
Even the lead on a
3-point shot or 3-point play.
Here's Solis with a 3-point shot. Yes, what a time for him to catch fire. And they have the lead with 5 seconds left in the third period. Bernie Fabiosa struggling to keep it in the backcourt for Great Taste. It's all over. Oh,
not going to count for that shot on that
won't
interception.
count. Okay, we're in for a